Picture this. It's a hot summer afternoon and you've just sat down at the table. In front of you is a beautifully plated tuna salad, crisp lettuce leaves, juicy red tomatoes bursting with flavor, crunchy cucumbers, maybe even a sprinkle of olives, all brought together by a light vinaigrette dressing that glistens in the sun. The aroma is fresh and inviting, and with every bite you know you're getting not just a delicious meal but also a healthy, protein-packed boost. For millions of Americans, canned tuna isn't just an ingredient. It's a pantry staple, something we grew up with in sandwiches, casseroles, salads, and quick weeknight meals. But have you ever stopped to wonder about the incredible journey that humble can of tuna takes before it ever reaches your kitchen shelf? Today we're diving deep beneath the waves and into the world of tuna production, uncovering the fascinating history, the meticulous fishing and canning process, and even the environmental challenges that shape the industry. By the end, you'll never look at a tuna salad the same way again. The story of canned tuna goes back over a century, to a time when food preservation wasn't just about convenience, it was about survival. In the early 20th century, long voyages and growing populations demanded a reliable way to keep protein-rich foods from spoiling. Enter Albert P. Halfhill, a visionary entrepreneur who changed the way Americans ate. In 1903, Halfhill, fascinated by the Spanish method of preserving sardines, decided to experiment with tuna, a fish that was abundant along the Pacific coast but often overlooked in American diets. Imagine him in his makeshift kitchen, sleeves rolled up, wrestling with techniques, trial after trial, and perhaps a few fishy disasters along the way. Yet through persistence and ingenuity, Halfhill cracked the code. His success gave birth to the first commercially viable canned tuna, forever changing the course of American cuisine. The timing couldn't have been better. During World War II, canned tuna became a critical source of protein for soldiers overseas. Nutritious, easy to transport, and long-lasting, it fed armies and fueled entire campaigns. By the 1920s, this once experimental idea had already swum its way into American homes. Families embraced it as a quick, affordable, and versatile meal option. The post-war boom of the 1950s catapulted canned tuna to new heights. As households embraced modern convenience foods, tuna casseroles, tuna melts, and tuna salads became fixtures on the dinner table. Generations grew up with tuna sandwiches in their lunchboxes, cementing its place as a beloved part of America's food culture. Even today, canned tuna ranks among the top seafood choices in the United States, consumed by millions every week. But the story doesn't end with history, it's the production process that truly reveals just how much work goes into each can. To understand it, we need to head out to the open ocean, where the tuna's journey begins. Tuna fishing is no small feat. These fish are powerful, fast, and roam vast distances across the seas. One of the most common commercial fishing methods is purse seining, a technique that involves deploying a massive net around a school of tuna and then drawing it closed like a drawstring purse. It's a remarkable sight, as thousands of shimmering fish are captured at once in a single coordinated effort. For perspective, the largest tuna ever recorded weighed a jaw-dropping 1,496 pounds, nearly the size of a small car. Of course, not every fish is that massive, but it shows the incredible scale of these ocean giants. Once caught, time is of the essence. To ensure the tuna maintains its quality and flavor, it is immediately transferred to refrigerated seawater tanks on board the fishing vessels. These tanks, capable of holding up to 50 tons of fish, act as mobile freezers, keeping the tuna at the perfect temperature until the boat returns to shore. This step is critical. Without it, the delicate fish would lose freshness before even reaching the processing plant. In the world of seafood, freshness isn't just a marketing buzzword. It's what separates a delicious meal from an inedible one. Back on land, the journey continues at the processing facilities, where entire teams work with precision and speed to transform the raw fish into the familiar cans we know. The tuna is first sorted by size and species, because not all tuna is created equal. Skipjack tuna, for instance, is the most common type used in canned tuna, known for its mild flavor and affordability. Albacore, on the other hand, is prized for its firmer texture and lighter color, often marketed as white tuna in the United States. Yellowfin tuna, with its slightly richer flavor, also finds its way into premium cans. Each variety brings something unique to the table, and processors carefully separate them to meet consumer expectations. Once sorted, the fish undergoes a thorough cleaning and pre-cooking stage. Giant steam ovens cook the tuna just enough to make it easier to handle and prepare for the next steps. After cooking, skilled workers or automated machines carefully remove the skin, bones, and other inedible parts, leaving behind only the clean, flaky tuna meat. This is the part that eventually gets packed into cans. It's worth noting that this step requires incredible precision. Consumers expect consistent quality, with no unpleasant surprises in their tuna salad. The clean fish is then hand-packed or machine-packed into cans, and here's where a bit of tradition still meets modern technology. In some factories, workers still arrange the tuna by hand to maintain the right texture and appearance. Once packed, the cans are filled with either water, oil, or sometimes brine, depending on the product. Each variation appeals to different preferences. Tuna in oil offers a richer taste, while tuna in water is lighter and lower in calories, making it a favorite among health-conscious Americans. The final critical step is sealing and sterilization. The cans are vacuum sealed to lock out any air and then subjected to intense heat and pressure in large retorts, essentially giant pressure cookers. This process kills harmful bacteria and ensures the tuna remains safe and shelf-stable for years. It's this innovation that transformed tuna into the convenient pantry staple we know today. Once sterilized, the cans are cooled, labeled, packaged, and shipped off to supermarkets across the country, ready to land in your kitchen. But as with all things connected to the ocean, the story of canned tuna isn't just about food, it's also about responsibility. The global demand for tuna has raised important questions about sustainability and the impact of fishing methods on marine ecosystems. Purse seining, while efficient, can sometimes unintentionally catch other species like dolphins. To address this, dolphin-safe labeling was introduced, giving consumers confidence that their purchase didn't come at the expense of marine mammals. Meanwhile, many companies are investing in more sustainable fishing practices, like pole-and-line fishing or using selective nets that reduce bycatch. For environmentally conscious Americans, knowing where your tuna comes from and how it was caught has become just as important as taste and price. Today, the canned tuna industry stands at a crossroads, balancing tradition, consumer demand, and environmental responsibility. On one hand, it continues to feed millions of families with a reliable, affordable source of protein. Imagine standing in your kitchen, cracking open a can of tuna, and tossing it into a salad or sandwich without giving a second thought to how it got there. It's smooth, flavorful, and convenient. But behind that little metal can is an incredible story that stretches from the open ocean to high-tech processing plants, all in less than 2 days. The journey of tuna from sea to shelf is one of precision, speed, and centuries of seafood expertise. In this deep dive, we're pulling back the curtain to reveal exactly how freshly caught tuna transforms into the clean loins and neatly sealed cans you see stacked on grocery store shelves. This isn't just about food, it's about science, sustainability, and the unseen craftsmanship that makes one of America's favorite proteins possible. It all starts out on the vast blue waters, where skilled fishermen catch tuna under strict time-sensitive conditions. Once the fish are brought on board, every second counts. Tuna is extremely delicate, and its taste and texture can begin to change rapidly after being caught. That's why the sea-to-shore journey is often completed in under 48 hours. Boats equipped with refrigeration systems keep the fish fresh until it reaches the docks. From there, it's rushed to a processing facility where the real transformation begins. Walking into one of these plants is like stepping into a different world. Rows of stainless steel tables, workers in pristine uniforms, and a hum of activity where thousands of pounds of tuna are prepared daily. The cleaning and butchering stage is the first critical step. Tuna arrive whole, often weighing anywhere from 50 to 200 pounds, and they must be broken down quickly and skillfully. Experienced workers, many of whom have spent decades perfecting their craft, remove the head, tail, and internal organs in just seconds. It's a mix of precision and muscle memory because speed is everything in seafood processing. A single worker can handle up to 60 fish an hour, ensuring that no part of the production line slows down. The result of this stage is large, clean tuna loins, thick cuts of meat that are ready for the next phase. At this point, the fish already looks drastically different from what came off the boat, but there's still a long way to go before it's pantry ready. The cooking phase is where science meets tradition. These massive loins are placed in giant industrial steam ovens that reach scorching temperatures. For about 45 minutes, the tuna cooks under carefully controlled conditions that kill harmful bacteria while locking in natural flavors. It's a balancing act. Overcook the tuna and it loses its texture. Undercook it and it's unsafe. The engineers and food scientists overseeing this step monitor everything down to the degree, ensuring consistency batch after batch. Once the cooking cycle ends, the tuna can't just sit around. Rapid cooling is the next mission. By quickly reducing the temperature, usually over the course of 2 hours, processors preserve the flaky yet firm texture that tuna lovers expect. Cooling also prevents any bacterial growth, ensuring the product is safe without sacrificing taste. Once the loins are cooked and cooled, the canning process begins, a step that combines careful inspection with cutting-edge machinery. Workers and machines work side by side, ensuring only the best pieces make it into the cans. Each loin is inspected for quality, trimmed into uniform chunks, and then placed into cans with a chosen liquid. This is where consumer preference comes in. Some cans are filled with water for a lighter, leaner option, while others are packed in brine for a salter bite or olive oil for a richer, gourmet flavor. Flavored varieties, like those infused with herbs or spices, have also become popular, giving tuna a new life as a versatile ingredient. Once packed, the cans are sealed with airtight lids that lock freshness inside. But sealing isn't the final safeguard. The cans are subjected to a sterilization process that would make most home cooks' heads spin. Heated to over 250 degrees Fahrenheit in massive retort machines, the cans undergo intense pressure and heat treatment that eliminates any remaining microorganisms. This not only makes the tuna completely safe to eat but also extends its shelf life dramatically. In fact, properly sealed and sterilized cans can last up to 5 years in your pantry without losing quality. That's why canned tuna has long been considered one of the most reliable, convenient sources of protein. Whether you're preparing a quick lunch, stocking up for emergencies, or packing for a camping trip. Of course, behind the convenience of canned tuna lies an important conversation about sustainability. Tuna is one of the most widely consumed fish in the world, but demand has put serious pressure on global tuna populations. Overfishing is a major concern, and so is bycatch, the unintended capture of other species including dolphins, turtles, and sharks during tuna fishing. For decades, these environmental challenges have sparked debates and reforms across the fishing industry. Today, many companies are stepping up to adopt more sustainable practices. Dolphin-safe nets, pole-and-line fishing methods, and strict quotas are helping reduce ecological impact. Certifications from organizations like the Marine Stewardship Council give consumers confidence that the tuna they're buying comes from responsibly managed sources. By choosing sustainably caught tuna, shoppers can play a direct role in protecting marine ecosystems. For U.S. audiences, canned tuna isn't just a grocery item, it's a cultural staple. From classic tuna salad sandwiches to creamy casseroles, from tuna melts sizzling on the griddle to high-protein post-workout snacks, Americans have found countless ways to enjoy it. Part of tuna's appeal is its versatility. It can be dressed up into a gourmet meal with olive oil, capers, and lemon zest, or kept simple with just mayo and bread. That wide range of uses has cemented tuna as one of the most consumed seafood products in the United States, second only to shrimp. In fact, millions of cans are sold every week, making it a $2 billion industry nationwide. When you think about it, canned tuna is a marvel of modern food science and logistics. Consider the sheer scale: fishing vessels operating across oceans, cold chain logistics that keep tuna fresh within tight deadlines, massive industrial ovens cooking hundreds of loins at once, and robotic canning machines sealing thousands of cans per hour. Each step is carefully choreographed, and yet most of us never give it a second thought when grabbing a can off the shelf. That's part of what makes this story so fascinating, the hidden complexity behind something so ordinary. And let's not forget the human element. Behind every can are workers whose skills make the process possible. From the fishermen braving unpredictable seas to plant workers who can expertly process dozens of fish in an hour, their roles are essential. Many seafood plants in the U.S. and abroad rely on generational knowledge, where techniques are passed down and perfected. These workers are the backbone of the seafood industry, ensuring that the tuna you eat meets both safety standards and consumer expectations. Without their precision and dedication, this streamlined global operation wouldn't exist. As technology continues to evolve, so does tuna processing. New methods of flash freezing, improved sustainability tracking, and even automated butchering machines are beginning to shape the future of the industry. There's also growing interest in alternative proteins and plant-based tuna, designed to mimic the taste and texture of the real thing. While traditional tuna will likely remain dominant for years, these innovations hint at how consumer preferences and environmental concerns are reshaping seafood production. Imagine a future where you can choose between traditional canned tuna and a sustainable plant-based alternative, both designed to satisfy taste buds while protecting oceans. The next time you crack open a can of tuna, take a moment to appreciate the journey it represents. It's not just a quick meal, it's the product of a global supply chain, a dedicated workforce, advanced food science, and increasing efforts to protect our oceans. From the moment the tuna leaves the water to the second you lift the lid on your can, every detail matters. And while canned tuna may seem like one of the simplest items in your pantry, Its story is anything but simple. It's a tale of speed, precision, flavor, safety, and responsibility, packaged neatly into a can you can open with the twist of a wrist. So, what about you? Do you prefer your tuna packed in water for a light bite, in olive oil for extra richness, or flavored with herbs and spices for something new? Share your favorite way to enjoy tuna in the comments below. And if this behind-the-scenes look into tuna production fascinated you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more journeys into the hidden world of food manufacturing. Together we'll keep exploring how everyday products are made, uncovering the science, skill, and sustainability efforts that make them possible. Because sometimes, the most ordinary foods have the most extraordinary stories.